So yeah, I guess that's just a bit of encouragement for this show is often when we are being challenged is when the chips are down, that's when we see ourselves. That's when what's really in us comes out. What's coming out? Is it reactivity and emotions and rawness and I need to be heard, or is it flexibility and adaptability and let's make this work sort of a situation? I I could probably talk a little bit about some of the work colleagues that I've got at the moment. We had one day, the biggest day we've ever had on the Thursday. We didn't, it was like a 12-hour day and everything ran really smoothly. And often it does when I'm there. Everybody's kind of respectful to each other and everything runs nice and smoothly. Everybody's just doing their job. And the next day you and I rocked up. I don't know if you really picked up on it, but one of the guys ended up walking off site. He had effectively quit. And and I wasn't on that job. You and I were doing our own jobs, but when I'm not around, it seems to me that people aren't as kind to each other or tolerant or accepting. I don't know what it is, but for me, I see that as it just does. I have no space for that in my life or anybody, and so it doesn't happen when I'm around. But then it seems to happen when I'm not around. It's interesting to see.
The light. It's like the priesthood. The priest brings that presence of, and everybody is affected by it. And you often quoted Louise Hay, who says, "When I change, has that rippling effect and gives permission for everyone else to change." And I think that has a same thing of when you're actually just being present in a situation where around other people, your presence and who you are, the state that you bring, ripples out and gives permission to everybody else just to relax and not have to fight to be who they're not.
Mm. Yeah.
Cool, isn't it?
It is cool. Well, that another experience of that. There was another fellow who was trying to put a bit of furniture together. It's a difficult bit of furniture. It's a dance floor. It was really difficult to put together, and he was getting really cranky. And and I was around doing my lights, and I mean, I get angry too, but then I always have a bit of a laugh if I get a bit reactive at something. And so anyway, when other people are getting angry, I just laugh when they're doing it, and I try and encourage them just to breathe and think clearly. And this is because that's kind of how I try and talk to myself when I'm getting angry. And the fellow, he said back to me, I just laughed and I said, "Breathe, bro, breathe." And he goes, "I'm trying to breathe. I'm getting angry. I'm getting really angry." But I could see him trying to regulate it, and it was fun to see because
he was snorting like a bull rather than breathing.
yeah, he was forcing it, but it was good because he ended up, he regulated himself, and rather than getting, if there was other people there, or if you get angry at somebody else for getting angry, then all of a sudden that the emotion is justified and it has somewhere to go. So, but when we can just accept somebody as being angry and being the emotion, whatever it is in the emotion that they're in, then we give them permission to actually change it for themselves, which is that's the empowering gift, is just letting them have it. Let them have that moment. Why do you have to try and take it or change it or tell them to change it for themselves? Like they're gonna change it anyway. You're gonna make it easier or harder on them. That's sort of the way I think about these things.
That's your extraordinary superpower.
Yeah,
in action.
Yeah, it is, and obviously that's the combination of a few years of work and doing this, so that I am able to not react to people because I don't have that emotion in my energy field anymore. But again, it's all just little bits of confirmation that it's good to be able to share, not only just sharing that when we're challenged, but sharing when we do recognize it, because that's the big part about this work is to be proud of yourself when you do notice yourself making that shift and doing something different. Really get on you. You don't have to go out for celebrate same way you were used to, but even just a moment of recognition of saying, yeah, we did that, or I'm really proud of you for doing that, or whatever it is. Just checking in and giving yourself that recognition is really important also.
Yeah, I mean, and acknowledging to yourself that when you do that, you're actually acknowledging that the answers to every situation and what you're going through is within, not without. The way we'd handled it in the past was we would start handling it without by blaming this person and blaming work, blaming that it wasn't done right, blaming that this isn't going together, or of whatever it is. That's how you handle it on the outside, and that does nothing for you. But when you acknowledge that I'm the one that's creating this problem, I'm the one that's actually got the answers, and all I have to do is breathe and actually allow myself to be myself and let it go. And then all of a sudden, everything starts just to fall into place. Yeah. And it's been a little bit like that for me with some stuff I've had to work through with everything that's going on in WA and the world in Australia and the lockdowns and all that other stuff, And I started to realise, hang on a minute, I'm allowing the perceptions of what I'm seeing to affect me. And I'm sovereign, and I am who I am, and only time I can change who I am is by giving it away and letting everybody else influence who I am. So and a sovereign doesn't even acknowledge that someone can even take it away from them. So it's just started standing in my ground in that, just standing and just holding my position in that. And then all of a sudden, and stop watching the media. But really, that was the changing point for me, and I just allowed myself to be strong and hold who I am, and be grounded in that, and my presence was there, and then it's all just changed. It's still reading it, I'm still seeing what's going on, but it's not gripping me in any way at the moment. So it's yeah.
Which is important, because it is very easy to get lost in it. You swirl around, and so much information out there, so much confusion, so much that we don't understand about any of it. Having the philosophy that it is all there for our good, and standing in that truth of I'm gonna be here and follow my intuition and listen to that inner hero. That's awesome.
Yeah.